Hey, what's going on, guys? Bomb Mentality here. Today I want to do a trade recap for today's trades and also yesterday's trades, which was July 17th. So I'm just going to roll those 2 days together and I'll go through and show you guys what I made on them, what I lost, and how I did. So let's just jump into this one here. The first ticker we're going to talk about is ROKU. As you know, ROKU, I've been focused on watching the 105 breakout. I talked a lot about that in the past 1 or 2 videos I made. So if you want to kind of see what led up to this point, go check those videos out. But I was very much looking forward to this day, and you'll see how I traded this day in my last video. So we got the close here, and this is yesterday's price action. So I'm going to zoom in on just these 3 days here. So yesterday's price action on ROKU, we saw this super strong bullish day into a decent close there around the 113. We started seeing lower highs here into the open, and then we got that wash and a pullback. So right away, I was telling my chat room that morning the level I was interested in to dip buy ROKU was into the round that $110.50 level. And I'm just going to draw a line here. This right here is about $110.20. I was looking to dip buy around this area because that's where we saw the last 2 previous pivot lows the prior day, and that would be a good pullback from the open in order to get long, looking for the red to green move. I detailed all that pre-market, so I was ready to get long on those calls. I wasn't looking to chase anything up on the calls unless we would have got a pullback onto the pre-market highs. And I wasn't really looking to get puts unless we just went straight to 115. So I wasn't concerned on puts out of the gate on this one. So what did he end up doing here, and I'll zoom in on this day, was we had the market open here, and we immediately dumped here. We went from green on the day to red on the day. We saw the pullback. We broke pre-market lows, and we saw this pullback here towards that 110.50 level I was looking at. And that 110.50 level is actually right below the bottom of this candle. This candle had a low of $110.53, which is exactly where I got long. So what I ended up scooping up was I got 10 of the 122 strike calls at $1.85 each. So I ended up buying those here. I ended up taking half off here at the red to green and then letting the other half run. And the first half I took off, I bought them at 185, sold 5 at 229. And then the other 5 I took off at 195, which was only 10 cents above my entry, because as you can see what happened is we got the rip. I took half off here once we broke the 112. We pushed up here. I was up a lot, guys. I was up a lot on those puts, but I wanted to hold 5 and they ended up coming back, and then we just dumped right back down here. So right before it got to my break even, I went ahead and took them off. I'm glad I did. We got a brief retest of the red to green there, but then we faded. So at this point, I was looking for another play on it. We didn't break over pre-market highs and hold to see continuation for the long. We've rejected the red to green line twice. So my next trade I lined up there on ROKU, which is down here, were the puts. So just to summarize this, I made $250 on that long side play on ROKU out of the gate. So the next was the short side play. I picked up the 107 strike puts at 80 cents each. And that was when we saw this pullback, bounce, rejected the red to green, and then we saw this flush, bounce, and we didn't even get over VWAP. So right here on this candle, right here to $111.10, I went ahead and entered in those puts. We saw a brief push up here to the red to green, a quick reject, and a flush straight into profits. I did take profits here down onto that 110. As soon as we started to flush 110 and we kind of chopped around it right here, that's when I took my profits on this one. It was just a quick scalp. It was I got in at the 80 cents, sold at the 95 cents, so just $150 profit. It was just real quick. This put me up about 420 on the day. I was happy with that. In 2 trades, given that I was really looking for ROKU to do more this day, but it didn't. So I was okay with just stepping back. Every trade on ROKU this week I've won. I have banked on every single trade on ROKU I've had this week. I only lost, as a matter of fact, I only lost on 1 trade this week, and that was on Netflix, which I'll get to. But yeah, so for this day, that was it for yesterday. That day was about $420 profit. Now we'll come down here to the 18th, which is today. So to kind of show you what led up to this, let me zoom out so you can see what happened here on ROKU. So let's get these lines out of here. Okay, so we continue to see weakness for the entire day. We had the close. Netflix announced their earnings and their bad subscriber growth, and this thing plummeted down to 105, and then we kind of were seeing higher lows compared to after hours. We saw higher lows here pre-market today, and we ripped up into the open. So I was bull biased. I defined that in chat. I said at which point I would be looking to be bear biased, and that wouldn't be unless we rejected 106 and got below it, because that'd be below our pre-market highs, right? So that was my main focus. I was looking bull biased. Now what happened here is at the market open, The first play I technically took was Netflix, so I'll show you that one first, and I'll jump back here to Roku and explain what happened here. Netflix, remember they had that bad subscriber announcement there on their earnings. They really tanked down hard. I was actually bullish Netflix. I was looking for us to retrace towards the 340 today, because if you go back a year from today, you'll see that on July 16th, when they previously announced earnings, they saw a $40 gap just like this one, and that same day we retraced the whole move, right? So we moved 40 points back up. So I was expecting at least to get 20, 30 points out of this move. We didn't get it today. However, we might get it tomorrow. I'll be keeping in mind on that. We'll be talking about that in chat. But today on Netflix, what we saw here was this consolidation pre-market between the upside channel. The upside was 325. I'm going to go ahead and draw that for you guys. So the top end of that was right about here. The bottom end was right about here. So really between 320 and 325 is what we're looking at. Here in the open, we pushed through the 325 and saw that pullback. And I'll zoom in so you can actually see what I'm talking about here. Zoom in right there. So we got this flush here to the open pullback. I immediately got in the 340 calls. So I got 5 of the Netflix 340 calls at $1.29. And we got the rip up here. I was up for a while, then we pulled back, and once we flushed back below the 325, I went ahead and took them off. These got crushed pretty hard. So I bought them for $1.29, got out of them at 55 cents each. So I took a $370 loss, boom, out of the gate. And that was my first trade of the day today. So I was like, geez, man, ouch. But I mean, it just didn't work out. That's why I only did 5 contracts. You see, I normally do 10 on Roku. I only did 5 on Netflix because of this situation could have happened, because these were so far out of the money. So I took that $370 loss. Now I'll tell you what, I didn't end up trading Netflix again. I'll save that for tomorrow. Now I'll show you what I did on Roku. So what I did next on Roku was, at the same time as I got those calls on Netflix at the open, I put limit orders in here on Roku. I had a limit order sitting here at like 106.50, another one down here, and then another one right here. What happened is we opened up, and if I remember correctly, the premiums were at like $1.10. The bid was at $1.10. The ask was at $1.40, and my buy was at $1.20. But what happened was, as soon as the price snapped back up, it just gapped me, and everyone hit the ask. So I didn't even get a fill at $1.20. So we went from $1.10 to like $1.30, and then it just kept going without me. So I didn't even get a fill on this opening rip. If I did, I probably would have made probably between $500 and $1,000 off this upside move. If I would have got full size, it would have been a 4-figure trade. So a major bummer that I didn't make that, but I made up for it a little bit. So I missed this upside on Roku, even though I perfectly called that in chat before then. We saw the push up here to red to green, which I always have my eye on, and I called that out in chat because we tend to reject red to green. We've done it multiple times on Roku in the previous days that I've talked about. So we pushed up here to the 109, pulled back, pushed it towards the 109 again, and we failed. And right as we started to break down right here, I went ahead and hopped into 15 of the 107 puts at $1.14. And I didn't scale out of these because I was coming back from a loss. I didn't get my read on Netflix. I missed my initial trade on Roku, so I didn't want to scale out on these. I wanted to just go ahead and take my profit that put me green on the day, and I'll just go ahead and hop in on that once I got the move that I wanted. So I got the 107 strike puts here at $1.14, and right on this red candle, and then we got the flush right here. And let me move over a little bit. Yeah, we got the flush, the pullback right here, and then the finish right there. And this is where I took off those contracts into that second flush right there. And that put me, I bought them at $1.14, sold all 15 of them at $1.50. That was a $546 profit on those puts, which I was definitely very happy about. And so what ended up happening next here was BYND. At this point, I was up like $176 on the day. Guys, again, if you are not following me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. That is where I'm going to be posting my P&Ls. If I go skydiving, I'll be posting that. You know, I'm really into, sport bikes, have my Corvette on there, all that kind of stuff as far as like me, lifestyle stuff. Go check out my Instagram. I'm really working hard to grow that. And on there, you'll see under my stories, I save them all, my highlights, and I actually save my daily profits and also losses in there. So go check that out, and you will see how I've been doing on the days. So for Roku here, I got I already went over this trade. Then BYND popped up. So essentially what happened is after this point, I was up $176 on the day. I was just waiting to see. I was pretty much done. I was happy because I was green on the day, came back from that loss. Netflix didn't look like it was going anywhere. I didn't want to chase Roku up when I didn't get that initial move out of the open, unless it set up really nice. So I was just kind of sitting on my hands. Well, as you guys know, BYND has blessed me over the past couple months since the IPO, and I have been shredding this thing. If you haven't seen my video I uploaded where I discussed $10,000 profit on BYND in under 2 months, go watch that video and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But for BYND, this thing popped up out of nowhere and was like, hey man, bot mentality, you want to make some money? I said, yeah. So what happened here was we got a rip. We saw this equilibrium pattern here on BYND, and we ripped from the 169.50 area from the red to green line here off VWAP straight up to the 172.50. And don't you know that your boy Bot Mentality top ticked the puts? I guess you could say technically bottom ticked. Essentially what happened is I picked up 10 of the 172.50 strike puts for $3.20, and $3.20 was the cheapest they were for the whole day, right? And then this thing pulled back and I just scalped them. I went ahead and put a limit order in. I got in right here on the top. We saw a brief push here and then a pullback, and right on this pullback, I ended up getting stopped out on those for when I sold them. So I bought them at 320, sold them at 340. Again, I was only looking for a scalp, pretty much just to pad the wallet here. So that was plus $200 on the day. I was very happy about that, and total on the day, that put me up $376 for today. But when you add that between today and yesterday, my total profit is $796. Now, take in mind, if I didn't take this Netflix loss, I would have been over 1,000 in 2 days. Also, even if I did take that Netflix loss and I hit those not BYND, I hit the Roku calls at the open that I wanted here that I had talked about in chat, I should have just marketed in. I don't know what I was doing. If I would have got these calls here, it would have been way over $1,000. It probably would have been near 1,500 in 2 days. So yeah, guys, that's my trade recap on everything. $796 in 2 days. If you guys have any questions, you can hit me up email. You can hit me on Instagram. You can reach me on Twitter. You can comment in the comment section below. Again, guys, if you are interested in joining my private Discord where me and a bunch of guys pretty much sit around, talk stocks, talk options all day, every day, and we're posting our trades in there, working together to be consistently profitable and positive and just kind of lifting each other up. If you are interested in joining a community like that, there's information for that on my Patreon, and that will be in the description box below. I have all that information down there. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. We're at 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Continue to stay focused on developing that bot mentality, which is the trading mentality, where you learn to eliminate your emotions so you can trade like a machine, guys. I'm out of here. Deuces.